Miss Goldie's art room. Today I'm going to show you how to make a color wheel flower collage. Happy arting!
The first thing we need to do is separate our paper into 6 sections. Because it's 11 inches long and not an even number divided by 6, we're going to make each section about 1 3/4 inches long. We're left with 6 sections. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate by color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and the last section will be purple. Next, we're going to use our crayons to draw different types of lines, designs, patterns inside each section. You want to push a little bit hard with the crayon so it looks a little bit dark. You're going to follow this for each section, going along with the same order as the color wheel. Here are some examples for you to use for different lines, patterns, and designs. So go ahead and finish up your sections. Draw whatever lines and designs you would like. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. You feel free to take your time and pause whenever needed. Once all our sections are completed, we're going to go ahead and use markers as watercolor paint. I like to put a placemat under the space that I'm working so it doesn't leak. You're going to grab your cup of water, a tin foil, and some markers. Just color a little bit on the tin foil, grab your paintbrush, grab some water so you can move the marker onto the paper. You may need to add some more marker to get more ink. It's very important that we wash off our tinfoil and our brush before we go to the next color. Because we use crayons for the drawing, we can go ahead and paint right on top of it. Feel free to take your time, finish painting each section. Remember to wash your brush in between each color. Beautiful. We're going to set that aside and wait for it to dry completely before we start cutting our petals. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and grab another blank piece of paper so we can work on the background of our collage. Now that we have our piece of paper, we're going to go ahead and select the color blue we would like to color the background in. I like to use light blues, but feel free to use any shade that you like. I like to put a piece of scrap paper underneath what I'm coloring. That way I can color all the way to the edges and not make a mess on my table. You're going to use the side of the crayon, push lightly. You don't want to push dark. You want to push lightly just to fill the space with some color. Go ahead and fill the entire paper with that shade of blue. To give my background paper some depth, I'm going to grab another shade of blue and color lightly right on top of that. This is called layering, where you color one shade on top of another. Now that our painting is completely dry, and you want to make sure it's completely dry, we're going to fold it in half. This way we can cut our two petals at once. A petal looks like a sad face and a happy face joined together. Once you have it drawn, you're going to grab a pair of scissors and cut it. And voila, you have two at once. If you need to draw each petal, feel free to do so. Take your time, go slow, cut all of your petals out. Now that all the petals are cut, we need to decide if we want our paper going vertical, up and down, or horizontal side to side. I like to take a piece of scrap paper and redraw the order of the color wheel, just so I don't get confused how I need to arrange and then glue my petals. Before I actually glue my petals down, I like to place them on my paper or arrange them in the order that they need to go, but also to make sure that they're going to fit and that I like the way it looks. Once the first flower is arranged, then I'll go ahead and arrange the second flower. Now that I have all my petals in place where I want them, I can grab my glue stick and start gluing. I like to do my gluing on a piece of scrap paper so I don't make a mess. If you notice, I turn the petal over, I put glue on the back, just around the area where it's going to be glued in the center. This allows for the rest of the petal to be three-dimensional and not flat. Artists, go ahead and take your time and glue all your petals on. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Feel free to pause the video whenever you need to. After you're done gluing your first flower, go ahead and glue your second flower. Now that all of our petals for both flowers are glued on, we're going to concentrate on drawing the stems of the flowers. So go ahead and grab a green marker or a green crayon. Make your first line, make your second line, and then just like the petal, we're going to make the same shape for the leaves. Again, one line, a second line, and the same shape that we did for the petals for the leaves. Feel free to add some lines and designs on both your stem and your leaves. Next, go ahead and grab an orange or a red or any type of warm color and add your sun. Next, like every artist, we need to sign our artwork. So pick a place that you like and write your name. After that's done, go ahead and color in all of the things that we just drew. Take your time, make it look neat. Now that everything's colored, we're going to focus on the center of our two flowers. So grab that extra scrap paper, grab the scissors, and while you have two pieces together, cut a circle or any other shape that you would like. Keeping the two pieces together, again, enables us to cut two in one. After your shapes are cut, go ahead and grab your glue. Make sure you put glue on the entire back of the piece you're gluing, and stick them right in the center of your flower. I always tell my artists that we want to make sure that things stay on forever and ever. To make sure, we're going to go ahead now, flip our entire project over, press firmly, and smooth it out. Beautiful job.